in Django Girls Abuja workshop. Today we're having Coach Viriaminu. Did I get that correctly, please? We are having him. Awesome. We are having him walk us through everything Django and Django installation and all the way in. So, but just before our coach comes on board, I just want us to put on our videos, put on your videos, and share with us your experience so far. I mean, it's going to be a really motivating factor for our coach here today. Omalasha, I'd like to hear what you have to say, being our most punctual student here, right? Joy, I want to hear what you have to say. What's your experience so far? Let us know, please. Put on your cameras. Who is going first? Who is going first so that it's orderly?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. You're already in front of me now, so just go ahead, please.
Okay. Well, I want to say I thank God for this
Anyways.
opportunity. My name is Momoni Adewale Omolasho. I live in Kuje, Abuja, and it has been a wonderful thing here, being with you all. And I really like the way the organizers and coaches had, where they are teaching us. I really enjoy it, and I'm really catching up fast. I'm not a programmer, but now I can say I can write hello world printouts. Thank you. You're all wonderful.
Congratulations on your great win. We know you're going to win much more in time to come. Thank you so much for sharing on Malasho. All right, so who's going to go next? That was so inspiring. So good to hear that from you, Malasho. Who's going to go next? Share with us.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. It might be evening at your end, so
it's almost dark here.
Yes.
Anthony. For my experience, it's been a great experience. Although I had the opportunity to be in Django Girls activity in Abuja, but sometimes I used to say the letters are dancing, because the more you learn, the more you are saying a lot of coding and all that. So, but with the two coaches so far, at least especially that of last week Saturday, I was able to follow up, and as the coach was going on, I was also doing the same. So I felt so happy. So I know I will get to learn more. That's why I try to do. I think this should be maybe the time I should put up my time and also my energy to learn a lot on coaching. So thank you very much. I have to say thank you, Django Girls, for giving me the opportunity to be part of this class. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Welcome, Joy. This experience, you sharing this with us, means a lot to us. And guys, please feel free to go across our social media handle and tweet. We've been seeing you on Malasho. We've been feeling your presence online. Every other person, please join the trend and just tweet your experience so far in the workshop. Okay, any other person that would like to share their experiences? I mean, feedback is really great to us. We need your feedback in order to better help and serve you during your course here in Django Girls Abuja. Any other person that would like to share or give us a feedback? Okay, I think everybody is shy. Come on, we have Suleiman here, we have Fatima, we have Adetula, we have Ayodele. Hi Ayodele, how are you doing today? Ask my Abiola, how are you? How is everything at your end? We have amazing people in here. You guys need to share with us your experience. And if you don't want to turn on your camera, the chat box is open. You can just go to the chat box and tell us how your experience has been. Okay, for now, you can make use of the chat box But moving on, it is time to bring on our coach because he has a lot of super goodies to share with us. Hi, coach. Hello.
Hello everyone.
You have the floor.
My name is welcome to the third session of Django Abuja's virtual workshop. My name is Bunyami Nusani. I am a software developer with Bexel Computers and Solution in Borno, but I am calling in from Zaria right now. So it's nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too, coach. Welcome. Welcome. I'm sure we are really elated to have you in here. Right now the floor is yours for you to, blow our minds away and give us aha moments. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So today is the day that you finally get to have a taste of Django. So first of all, what is Django? Django is a web framework written with Python, which helps you to create websites. And it helps you to create websites, web applications, and services to be consumed over the internet. One may think, okay, what is the difference between website and web application? So there are differences. For example, take Facebook. Facebook is a web application. Why? Because using Facebook, you can log in, you can log out, you can maybe like someone's post. You can even use Facebook stores to buy something there. But example of websites, something like Wikipedia is a website, especially the user-facing one. We know that there are parts whereby people get to log in and edit, but for most of it, it's just a website that people view it. Majority of people just use it to get references to documentations, to get references to other literature, or to get information about something that they are trying to know. So that's Django in a bit. Sorry. So one may think, why do we need Django? Yeah. Well, next, please pardon the way I speak. I'm a Hausa man, so I have tendencies to put in some Hausa expressions. So please, this is me this is my apology in advance. Please, thank you.
No problem at all. Right on, coach.
Yeah. So one may think, since we have Python, why then do we need Django? Okay, imagine this scenario that you have to write a server. Okay, let's take this, before we go there, let's take this scenario. Imagine this scenario that you want a house. You have the money, but then there are no people to build for you. You have to be the one to go and excavate sand from the sea. You will have to be the one to go and get gravel from the stones or wherever they're getting it. You'll have to be the one to get limestone, you process your own cement and make everything. It's hectic. And it doesn't provide value since you have money already. Since you have money, why not get a builder or a construction company, engage them and have them build it for you? This is almost the same thing Django is doing. It's doing all the abstraction for you. It's getting all your cement, excavating the sand for you, putting everything in place. All it's left for you is to come and arrange these components into a whole site and start using it. Just like in the case of your house, when they are done with the building, you be the one to arrange it the way you want it to appear. So that is what Django is doing with respect to Python. So far, do we have questions? So if there is no question, I will go ahead and share my screen so that we can start with the installation of Django. So first off, if we create our can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes.
So is the text big enough? Or maybe I should increase the size.
Yeah, if possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one is okay.
Yes, it is.
If you open your command prompt, You know, from our previous coaches, they explained what this command prompt is. So what you are going is, you change directory into your Django Gels folder. Or if you wish, you can follow the way I'm going to do my own, because I'm going to put my Django Gels folder on my desktop. So from here, I will cd into desktop. Then I will create a directory called Django Gels. Then I will change into the directory of Django Gels, and you have it. The next step is to create our virtual environment, just like you did with the previous coaches. So Python -m vm, sorry. So wait for Python to create the virtual environment for us. Next, we are going to activate it. Let's give it a little time. So next, we activate it. You can see here, it shows that my virtual environment is activated. Are you all following? So since my virtual environment is activated, I can go ahead and install
Well,
Django.
can you please slow down a little bit so that we can also catch it, sir?
Okay, sir. Please, when you do catch
Thank
up,
you, sir.
alert me. Welcome. So are we together? Hello, are we together, please?
Yes, coach, we are.
Okay, so I can proceed. So after you've activated your virtual environment, you can now go ahead and install Django. pip install Django. So what this does is, this pip is a tool for installing packages for Django. You know, actually, you can go to the websites where these packages are being hosted and download them manually. But the problem is, most of these packages have dependencies. What do you mean by dependencies? Packages that they depend on. So imagine if you need to pass Maths 101 for you to do Maths 102. You know, if you go ahead and pick Maths 201, they will not allow you to register it. Let's take in a university situation. You'll have to go back to Maths 101. This is the same scenario with it. You can go and download Django directly, but it will not work. It will request for all those packages it depends on. With the help of PIP, it will help us get everything together and install them peacefully. Let's hit enter. So you can see, apart from Django, it collected how many more packages? 3 more packages together with Django. Are you all following, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see here it says successfully installed all these other packages together with Django. So here it's given us a warning that our PIP is out of date. You can see the color of the text is yellow. Anytime you see yellow, anytime you're working with Python and you see text in yellow, it's giving you a warning. So it means it's not like your program will not work, but then it wants you to get something correct. But if you see a red text, then it's telling you that there is a problem. So here it's telling us that our PIP version is out of date. So right now it's not of concern to us, so we can leave it aside for now. So we can now go ahead and clear our terminal. After installing a Django, the next thing to do is you create a new project with Django. And for that, we have a utility called Django admin. Django admin with hyphen. Then you follow it with start project. Then we now give it the name we want. Let's say something like my site and hit enter.
Hi, sorry, coach. Hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, coach, is there a way you can access the chat room
Okay.
while you are on this? Yes.
Okay,
I
yes.
wouldn't like it to distract you, but that way you would also be able to tell if they are following. A couple of people are lost right now.
Yes, I can see that.
Okay.
Let me go through the chat.
Thank you, coach.
Okay. So I'm on the chat box right now. Please, you guys should comment where you are lost so that we can go back a little bit and proceed from there. Okay, so I have a hang of what has happened. So I'm going to go ahead and close my command prompt. Then I will start from the beginning. For those of you having PS on your own, that is PowerShell. It's a specialized command prompt by Microsoft, which they're using on their Windows. So we shall all close all the command prompts. If you have your command prompt open, you don't have to follow the next step. But if you're having PowerShell, the one with PS, please close it. So if you close it, you hover your hand over the Windows button and R, then press them together. You'll see this. You will see this, a run window come out. Are we together? So on the run window, click whatever it's there and type CMD. Evelyn, I can see you say that you are not together with us. What is happening? So if you type CMD here and hit enter, you can see command prompt is out. So do you all have the command prompt open?
Yes.
Okay. So from here, from the previous sessions, you have created Django Girls folder. Some of you created the Django Girls folder on your C drive. So if you are here, you need to go back twice, once and twice to this place. Then you now find the Django Girls folder. If you check the directory, if you go back to your C drive and check the directory, if you have Django Girls there, then you can change your directory into Django Girls. But if you don't have, I'm proposing we create a new folder on the desktop, just like I did on my own. So have you all checked your C drive?
Yes, sir.
So for those of us that have our Django Girls folder here, then we can easily do something like this. Let me clear the screen. CD Django Girls and hit enter. So if you have Django Girls here, it will not tell you that the path is not specified. But if it says the path is not specified, it means you do not have Django Girls folder here. So what we'll do now is we are going to go ahead and create it here to avoid confusion for those people who have their own Django Girls folder on the C drive. So to create a directory from this command prompt, we use mkdir, which means make dir or make directory. It's short form for make directory. We hit space and the name of the directory you want, Django Girls. Then you hit enter. So from here on, if you type cd Django Girls without space, pardon me. So if you type cd Django Girls and hit enter, you can see that it did not tell us error as in this place, but rather it reflected on the place we are, in the folder we are on the command prompt. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yes, I'm glad. Thank you very much. So from here on, we now proceed to create, let's clear the screen first, CLS. CLS means to clear your command prompt. So we now proceed to create our virtual environment. Python minus m vm my m. So we hit enter and give it a little time for Python to create it for us. What Python does with creating virtual environment is it's creating a sub-installation of Python to seclude it from your general Python installation. The advantage of this is anytime you are having multiple projects, there are some packages that clash with each other. There are some packages that if you pip install them, they do not work together. They do not work hand in hand with other packages. So the advantage of this one is separating all these projects in, let's say, in boxes or containers. So since our virtual environment is done creating, we can go ahead and activate it. So to activate it, first off, let's confirm that it's there by typing dir. This dir helps you check the content of the directory or folder you're in. So here, you can see that we have my env. So it means we can go ahead and activate it. So if you type my env, then backslash, type S and hit tab, it will help you auto-complete it. Then backslash again, and A, since we are looking to activate, you hit tab, it will help you auto-complete it. Then you hit enter, and you'd see that it is activated here. So have you all activated our
yes,
virtual
I'm
environment?
here now. Exactly.
Okay, fine. I'm glad we are all following. So from here on, since we've activated our virtual environment, we can now go ahead and install Django. And to do that, we use pip install Django. So when we hit enter here, what pip does is it will go to a dedicated website where Python packages are stored and look for Django. It will look for Django, look for all the necessary packages that Django needs to work and help you install it. So we hit enter and give it a little time to finish. Have you noticed a difference from the first time we installed? The first time it had this download progress that it used, but this time it's telling us it used using cached Django 3.2. So what pip does is to save your data and save round trip. If it collects a package once, it's going to keep it for future use, as long as the package is the latest one or it is the one that you want to install. So if it's the latest one, it won't have to download it again, thereby not wasting your data and saving you time. That is why it's using the cached packages here. So we can see it has successfully finished installing, and it's still giving us this warning, which, like I said earlier, it's not of concern to us since it will not prevent our Django application from working. Are we together?
I have issue here.
Okay. What is wrong?
It says error. Could not find a version that satisfies the requirements Django. From versions, none.
Did you spell Django properly?
Yes, I spelled Django properly.
Okay. Can you share your screen for us to see?
I'm using phone for Zoom.
Okay. Okay. Snap it and send it as a file on the chat box. Let me see it.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
So, since our Django is done installing, the next step is to go ahead and create a project. When you create a Django project, there are some necessary files and configuration files that it will put in place for you. Instead of you having to do it manually, Django will automate all this for you. So what we are going to do is we type Django admin. Since we have Django installed already, space, then start project without space in between them together. Start project, space, then we agreed to call the project my site, right? So let's say my underscore site, space, then we end with period. Make sure to end with this period, because if you don't put period, what it will do is it will create a folder called my site, then change into the my site folder and put your project files there. Meanwhile, if you have this period, it's going to put your project files inside this Django girls without creating another folder. So you hit enter and we wait for it to finish. So we can check if it has created it for us. So from here, you can see my site folder. Then you can see another manage.py. Let me open it here. So you can see my site and we have manage.py. So have you all created our project? So next, we change directory into my site. So if you type CD and M, then you hit tab, it will show you my M. It's helping you autocomplete. If you hit tab again, it will show you my site. When my site comes up, Then you hit enter. If you hit enter, you then check it, the directory, are we there? You have settings, sorry. This is, I think I'm in the wrong folder. Let me go back. Oh, so you can see here we have my site, then we have manage.py. Where you are going to, the directory you are going into is the one that has manage.py. You can see that apart from manage.py, we have another folder with my site that if you go inside, it has settings. Look at it here. It has settings and this stuff. So we're not interested in these guys for now. Our main interest is this place. Sorry, my apologies, please. I opened the initial Django Gels folder I created on my desktop, not the one on my C drive. Pardon me, please. So if you go to your C drive, we can see Django Gels here. And if you open Django Gels, we have my site and manager.py. This is where we want to be. So we don't need to even change directory or anything. Type dir, hit enter. If you can see manage.py there, then you don't need to change anything. Are we together?
We are not, though.
So where are you stuck?
I am lost.
We
From
are
where?
still at the error message.
Which error message?
Could not find a version that satisfies the requirement, Django. From versions, none. We sent it on the group chat, the pictures
Okay.
of the error message that we are getting.
Okay. Let me download it. Please, for those of you who are using Zoom on their computer and are having the error that they could not find a version that satisfied Django or whatever, can you please share your screen? I'm unable to download the screenshots you guys send on time. Please, is there no one available to share the screen? Because
I'm
getting to
using
the
my phone, so
okay.
I can only send a screenshot to the WhatsApp, not here. I don't know how
I
to
can
do it here.
actually share my screen, but I think I'm still very way behind.
Okay, what if you use your camera? Instead of sharing the screen, maybe you turn on your video or you switch your video to the back camera and
See where I am, coach. See my
okay.
problem. Can you see it, sir?
I'm trying to spotlight it.
This is where I am to install Django, and it's showing me this. And I think we are two that are facing these same challenges and the same challenge.
Let me stop sharing my screen for a while and see if I can rather pause.
Okay. Should I take it off now?
No, don't. Because I'm not able to see it in full screen. I don't know what's happening. Plus, can someone help me put it on full screen for everyone to see?
Hello, coach.
Yes.
So I made Omala sure a co-host so he can share his screen.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, it's okay. It's okay.
All right.
Hello, I'm still waiting on the shared screen.
I'm using phone. I'm using phone, not laptop, or I'm using phone. So the only thing I can do is to share it this way.
Okay. Coach Insummit, sorry, Inesummit, right?
Yes,
So-
in their message, I'm here.
Sorry, in that message. Thank you. So can you make him how do I say it? Make his own screen display widely on our own, so that the video is sharing will be better, will be of better quality.
Okay. I'm actually doing that.
Okay.
Okay, I've just spotlighted your video now. Omala Shaw.
Yes, I'm here. I'm using phone. I can hear
Yeah,
you.
so you can show the video now. Your video will take center stage.
Okay.
Okay. This is it. This is where I am now.
Coach, can you see it clearly now?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
And another person is facing this challenge.
Please, what version of Python are you running? Type Python and hit enter. Are you with me? Omolasho?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, please clear what is there. Clean that pip install
3.9.
and type Python and hit enter. Let's see what happens.
I should clear it like this with CLS.
Yes. No, with backspace.
Backspace. Oh, I think I've typed
Are you sure
wrong
you are
thing.
not having network problem?
Network?
Yes.
No, I'm using my phone.
On your computer, is your computer connected to the internet?
No, it's not connected.
You have to connect your computer to the internet since it's going to another website to collect it. So it needs internet.
Okay.
Actually, the mistake is on my part. I assumed everyone was using their computer. That is why I didn't make mention of it. But you need internet on your computer if you're using your phone. So are we all clear now?
Can I do that, coach?
Yes. Connect
Okay,
your phone connect your computer to the internet and
install it.
And install it, yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Let me quickly do that, sir.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm still not satisfied from my own end. I'm still getting no module name found as the VNV or something.
Okay. Well, let's see. Can you scroll down?
Sorry, whose screen is this? Is it center stage? Okay.
So the problem from what I can see here is, first of all, you are running it on PowerShell. That is why you have PS even before your C drive. So what you will do is type CMD, scroll down, type CMD. Are you with me? Scroll down to the end, type CMD and hit enter. So you can see that the PS has disappeared. So try activating the virtual environment again. Using my M, then \S, then you hit tab. Okay.
It's been activated. Thank you.
You're welcome. So please make sure you are not using PowerShell. Make sure you are using command prompt.
Coach is working now.
Okay.
He's installing. Thank you, sir.
So can we continue?
Yes, we can.
So install Django. Have you all installed Django? Then you go ahead and start your project. To create your Django project, you type Django admin. Start project. Then space, my sites. Then space, dot. Then you hit enter. I will not hit enter on my own because I have created the project already. So have we created the project?
Yes, I have created it, sir.
Okay. So I believe the others are following us as well. I can see Adedamola on the chat asking for how to download Django. Please, where are you stuck? What progress? Where are you right now? So that we know how to help you better.
Okay, I was the one that shared my screen and typed CFD the other time to activate.
So if you have activated it,
Okay.
you type, is your computer connected to the internet?
Yes, please.
So you type pip install Django. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So you type that, then you hit enter.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. So please, is anybody having another having challenge with his Python installation? Because I want us to get the Python installation, not Python installation, the Django installation ready today. Since the coach Ines Summit informed me that there will be another session on Monday, so that on Monday we can just dive into Django properly, or wherever we stop here, we can continue without having to go back on the installation. So please, if anyone is having challenges, they should bring it forth so that we can fix it for them.
Mine is installing now, so I'm still waiting for it to finish.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't
Coach,
know if I can share my screen so that you can see what I'm experiencing from my end.
Okay, please go ahead and do. Okay, so type ls and hit enter. This will list whatever is inside the Django Gels folder. So you can see my env is there. So the next thing to do is you type my env / scripts.
My M.
Yes. /, not backslash. /. The S should be in capital letter. Scripts, the plural, should end with S. Then / activate. Hit enter. So what will happen is, okay, type my env, or rather type my and hit tab on your keyboard. Can you find tab?
Yes, but it's not working. I'm currently clicking on it.
Okay, can you open the Django Girls folder for us? Open it on your computer.
Oh, okay. Right here. Right, can you see it?
No.
Sorry, give me a minute. I think the way I shared, I only permitted the terminal. Let me
Okay.
permit all my screen to be shared.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the what's it called?
The Django Girls.
Yes.
So open it. It seems there is a problem with your virtual environment. So we have to create another one.
Okay.
So delete the my M folder entirely. So then go back to your terminal. Then you type the command for creating virtual environment. The Python 3 - m vm my m. Then hit enter. So
Done.
then try activating again.
Okay.
So
Same thing.
okay. Let me quickly check on the internet, see what's happening.
All right.
Okay. On the command for the activator, after my M, instead of scripts, you type bin, bin. You replace scripts with bin. So you hit enter. Then hit enter. There's some problem. Okay, open the folder. Let's go through the BIN folder. Open BIN. Yes. So what we have activate here. Then are you spelling activate properly? Compare the spelling with the one on in the bin folder. The first file activates. Go back to your terminal. Type source before you now type the command for activating the virtual environment. No, the source in small letters all. So hit enter. I pray it works. Ah, finally. You can see it's activated. So we're done activating your virtual environment. So from here on, you can now type pip install Django and hit enter. So you now go ahead and type Django-admin. The Django should be small letter. Then space, start project together without space in between them. Start, not start. Then space, my site, my_site. Then space, dot. Then you hit enter. So type ls to list what is inside the Django Girls folder. So you can see manage.py there. You can also see my site folder. So you're up to date with us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. What is happening? You've not created Django Girls folder, and you've not created virtual environment before you even install. Are you with me? So, you know, the time is not on our side. So we are going to proceed. Since we still have this session on YouTube, you can refer back to it later in the day. And if you have any questions, then you can talk to us on the WhatsApp group and we'll be sure to guide you, inshallah. So from here on, I am going to proceed with the session. So after creating your Django project, the next thing to do is you run your local server. Right? Type in Python manage.py, then you run server. You hit enter. So you can see it says our development server is running at this particular URL. So if you copy this and go to your browser and paste this in your browser and enter, it will show you that your Django installation is successful. Let's try that. So we paste this, then go there. So you can see here, it's telling us installation worked, and it's congratulating us for our hard work. So are we all here? So now, Kuma, if you notice this line, it's saying we have 18 unapplied migrations here. So it is saying our app may not work properly until we apply these migrations. So what the migration does is it will create our database. So for the blog app we're going to use, first off, we are going to need a database where we save the information about the blog we're keeping. So for our blog app, let me illustrate here. For our blog app, one of the things we need is we need a server, which Django has provided it for us. Then next, we need a database. The database is where you keep records of whether you create users or where you keep all your blog posts, information, and the rest. That is your database. So for this database, we need to run the Django migrations, which will in turn help us create the database and put some other tables of the database in place. tables for authentication, tables for admin, tables for content types and sessions. Although for now, this is not of our concern. We'll get back to it later. So to stop our server, you hit Control and C. You click on your command prompt and click and type and hold Control and C together. You can see that it broke my server. The server stopped running. So from here on, you can now clear the command prompt with CLC. Then you type Python manage.py migrate. So if you do this and hit enter, you can see it's giving us information on what it's doing. It says that it wants to apply all these migrations, then looping through the migrations and telling us whether it's okay, it's been applied or not. And so far, so good. Everything has been applied successfully. So from here on, we have our database created. If you go to your Django Girls folder, you'll see a db.sqlite3 that appears. That is where your information is being saved. That is your database. It's an instance of SQLite, which is a type of database, just like MySQL, PostgreSQL, and the rest. So the next thing to do is we can now start coding our blog app. For us to do that, we create a Django app. What Django does with apps, it's its own way of separating concerns, so that when you are dealing with blog app, you know that if you open the blog app folder, everything there is concerning blog. And if you maybe happen to want to integrate commenting system on your blog, you can create another app for that as well. So anytime you have problem or you want to debug a certain bug, you can easily go to those folders and track your bug. So to create a new app, we type Python manage.py start app together without space. Then we say blog and hit enter. So if we do that, if we check our folder, we'll see that a blog folder has appeared. And if you open it, you'll see these files: migration, admin, apps, models, test, and views. So the first thing to do is we need to tell Django that we have created an application. If not, Django will not know that we have this application. We have created this blog app application. So what we are going to do is we come to this My Site folder. If you open it, you'll find settings. If you find settings there, you drag it and drop on your code editor. It will open it for you. So you can see there is a lot of code here. And out of all the codes that are here, this is our concern. If you scroll down a bit, you will see installed apps. So where you have installed apps, you can see it's a list of strings of apps that have been installed. So when you are here, you go to the last item on the list, this one. After the comma, you hit enter and put a string with blog and end with comma, the name of the app you created. This will tell Django that, okay, I have created an app called blog on this particular Django project. So you save it, Control S. After saving it, you can close it. So after this, next, what we are going to do is we'll go to our blog folder. We can see that there are models there, a models file. We take the models file and open it on our code editor. So For us to register our application with Django, you go to your Django folder. You can see our blog application that we created. It's here. So we open this My Site folder. If you open the My Site folder, you will see that there is a WSGI file, there is URLs, there is settings. Our interest is settings. So we open the settings on our code editor, like I did here. So after that, you scroll down to where you can find installed apps here. You can see installed apps here. So if you go to where there is installed apps, on the last item, the installed apps is a list of applications that Django recognizes. So for us to add our own, we go to the last item after this comma. We hit enter, then we add our own. Note that the name is a string. You put it in quotation mark. So again, let me take it once again. If you go to your Django Girls folder and open it, there you will see My Site and open it. If you open My Site, you will see that there are around 5 files and a folder. Among the files, there is a settings file. So on the settings file, you open it with your code editor. You can either right click and click on open. Sorry. You right click on it and go to open with. So it will show you a list of possible applications. If it's not here, you go to My Apps, you scroll down. If you can't find it, you look for another app. So in our case, since I'm using Sublime Text. So what I'm going to do is I will go to where I have installation of Sublime and pick it up from there. Or alternatively, you click and hold your settings file and drag it and drop on your code editor. You click and hold, you can see I'm dragging my own. Then when you come here to your code editor, you drop it. So if you drop it, you can see that it's opened there. So from there, you scroll down to where you have installed apps. If you scroll down to this place, this particular line is going to be the last item on this installed apps list. So from there on, you go to the end, you hit enter, then you add our blog app. You end with comma, and then you save it. So after this, you've told Django that you have installed this particular blog application. So from there, you go back to your Django Girls folder. If you go back to your Django Girls folder, you open the blog folder. Inside your blog folder, you have the models folder. Just as in the case of the settings file, you click it, hold and drag, and drop it on this. So this is where so you have this empty file that has these 2 lines only. So before we proceed, I'm going to do a little crash course on object-oriented programming. What it's meant by object-oriented programming is when you have a particular object, an entity with its property gaba daya on it. Take this scenario. Let's assume we know that if a cat gives birth to its own offspring or kitten, obviously the cat that comes out, it's a cat as well, but it may have different feature. The color might be different from the mother. So for that, we can create a class and call it cat. And under cat, we have feature like legs, Then we have, let's say, tail, and we have whiskers. So almost all cats that we know have these features. So from here, we can have another mother, let's say the mother of the cat, that inherits the cat features. Then we can say her hair color is the color of her fur. Let's say it's black. And she gives birth to another cat that inherits features also from the cat, but its fur color happens to be white instead. So what is happening here? So this mother, by inheriting from cat, it means this mother have all these features. Assalamu alaikum. Naam tahir. Alhamdulillah. Ina school. Hello, am I back live? Yes, it appears I'm live. So this cat is the general feature of all cats that we know. So if the mother, which is also a cat, instead of us having to type all these features for the mother cat, we can inherit the features of cats. Then we now add the color of the fur. Since all the cats you know do not have the same color of fur. Some are black, some are striped with black and white, some are brown, some are brown and white, and a host of other colors. You can even decide to dye your own cat, maybe blue or whatever color that suits you. So then if it gives birth to a kitten, it's not a necessity for the kitten to have the same color of the mother's fur. So from here, the kitten can also inherit from the cat, but have different fur color. So this is what we are doing here. We have these models that we are importing from Django.db. It's a utility for us, which we can inherit from to make it easier for us to create our model. So you hear me saying model, you may want to ask, what is this model? So think of this scenario. You know, when you want to bake a cake, you don't just mold it with your hand, then hold it and put it inside the oven, then leave it that way. If you do it that way, what will happen? The dough of the cake, the flour, the mix of the cake will take the shape of the tree because you haven't confined it in any container or mold. So that container, maybe heart-shaped or round-shaped container that you're using to bake your cake, that is an example of a model. So anytime you want a heart-shaped cake, you pour your mix inside the heart-shaped mold or the heart-shaped container and put it in your oven. It will create a cake that is heart-shaped. That is what a model is. And for the sake of our blog post, what we are going to do is we are going to create a blog model. So for our blog model, for a blog model, we expect our blog post to have a title. We also expect it to have an author, the person who created the blog post. After that, we also expect it to have a date it was created. Then we also expect to have a date it was published. Because you can create a blog post now and may not want to open it to the public until next week. So that is why we also have the published dates. So for now, then we are also going to have the content of the post. Should we call it text? Yes, that is the blog post, the content of the message you are trying to pass to your readers. That is where the text is going to be held. So for this purpose, we now go back to our models file. And from here, we are going to create a class. And call it blog. Remember, I told you are going to inherit from this models. So we say models dot model. So we're inheriting from this particular model, which has all the things required for us that we don't really need to know now. Django is abstracting it for us. So we don't really need to know as long as we are concerned that this thing is going to work. So next, we have title. For title, which we are going to also inherit a text field from Django models. We say models.char field. We give it a maximum length of 255. Then we say unique equals true. So this particular char field is a placeholder, or rather it's a container that will help us hold this title. It will create an entry for us in the database that will hold the title. So this maximum length is the length of the title we're expecting. We're expecting it not to pass 222 characters. Then we also have unique. We want our blog post title to be unique. We want our blog post title to be unique so that there is no clashing. Imagine if you have a blog post that is titled How to Create a Blog, and you have another one, maybe the second part that is titled How to Create a Blog as well. But you did not indicate which one is part 1 and which one is part 2. So anytime you try to retrieve any of these blog posts, Django will be confused, not knowing which particular one you are referring to. So which is why we have to make this title unique. So from this model we've already placed our title on. The next is author. So we hit enter. Then we type author equals models dot foreign key So what I did here,
After I didn't even charge the beginning.
so what I just did here is the author. You know, the author has to be a user, someone that you allow on the blog, on your blog application to make the post for you. So for that, Django already has a user model for us, which we can use to create an account and sign in and sign up and the others. So for us to utilize that, we also need to import that particular user instance and inherit it here, which is what we did here. So we go to django.contrib.auth.models and import this particular user. So we also have this option on delete, and we set to model.cascade. What this model.cascade does is, anytime you delete this author, it will take his own blog post along with him and go. Anytime you delete the author, the blog post is going to get deleted as well. So for now, we are not going to dive into that because it's more like an advanced topic. So after author, we have text.
What she said. Okay. What she said.
We have text, which we are going to use text field for it. You might want to ask, what is the difference between this char field and text field? The difference is this char field is used to hold short amount of text, while this text field is used to hold a limited amount of text. So in an ideal blog, if you put your title on char field, you cannot put the content on char field because char field does not have the capacity to hold that much. Even if it holds it, the performance on your database is going to be poor. So you are not allowing Django to optimize. You are not optimizing the features of Django if you use char field for your text, for your blog post. So for the blog post, we are going to use text field. So next is the created. And for this, we are going to use Django did field. So we have Django datetime field. So for this datetime field, there is an option that helps us automatically at the time created. So for that, I need to check the Django documentation because I can't remember it offhand. So on this side, we have it. So here I have opened the documentation for datetime field, and we have auto now and auto now add. So what you want to use is auto now add. We now add this option. What this particular flag does is anytime you are creating an object, it will take the current time on your computer or on your server and bind it as the creation time, which is what you want. So let's rename this guy to create time or create date. After that, we have published it. Then we now come, publish. So for this one, we are not going to use this flag because we want to set it at a particular time that we want the block to be published. So from here on, we have created our model. We have created our blog model. We expect that every blog post should have title, should have an author, should have a text, should have a create date and publish date. So with that, we can now save, Control S, and go back to our command prompts. I mistakenly closed my own. So we're now back on the command prompt. So the next step is, after we have created our model, we need to create a space for it. Just like if you want to bake your cake, after putting the cake inside your mold, the tray that is going into your oven, you need to create a space for it and drop it on the tray before you finally put it in the oven. So what we are going to do is, we are going to make migrations before we finally migrate. The act of making the migrations, it's as if you are creating space for your cake container on the plate before you put it inside oven. So to do that, we have this Python manage.py make migrations together without space. So if you type this and hit enter, so you can see here it's telling me I have an error. So it's a typographical error. I'm supposed to spell foreign, not foreign. We save. Then we try the migration again. So as you can see, since I fixed the error I had, the typographical error, it now says that it has created migrations for me. And this is the path. So if I go to my blog folder and open migrations folder, I will see this guy. Let's do that. I'm in the blogs folder. I have migrations folder. Then you can see this guy, 001 initial. So if you open it in your text editor, you don't need to edit it or anything. You just open it to see what is happening. So if you open it, you can see that there is this title, there is text, there is create date, there is publish date, and there is author, which we all defined on our model. But the only problem I can see here is that there is this ID. And if we check our models, we did not define ID. So this ID is coming from this model that we inherited. Just as in the case of the cat, the mother cat inherited all these properties from cat. So our own blog model, it inherited this ID from this model that we called. So we can go ahead and close this guy. Then since we've created space for our blog on the tree that is going into the Django oven, we can now migrate. We use the command Python manage.py migrate. Then we hit enter. So you can see, just as in the case of the first migration we did, it's now telling us that it has applied the blog migration. So the next step after this is we need to be able to see our model in action, be able to create blog posts and the others. So to do that, first off, let's start our server. So if our server is running, we copy this URL, go to our browser, we paste it. Then at the end, we add /admin. Apologies. We add /admin and hit enter. You can see it brought us to this Django administration, but we do not have any username and password to use. So for that, we need to create on our Django. So we stop the server, we clear this. To create our user, we use Python, manage.py, create super user. Everything together without space. Then we hit enter. So it will ask us for a username. For that, I'm going to use the short form of my name, B-U-Y-A-N. The email address, which is not necessary, so we're going to ignore it, press enter. Then password. Here we select our own password. If you type the password, it will not appear, but it's taking the input. So you hit enter again, it will ask you for the password. You type what you entered initially, and it will compare them. If it's correct, it will tell you created successfully. If it's incorrect, it will tell you that the password is incorrect. So you can see, since my password did not match, it prompted me. I will now have to start entering the password again. So you can see it created my super user successfully since the passwords have matched. So for that, we'll now run the server again. Then we go back to our browser and use this. Then we log in. And you can see here, we have the Django administration panel. If you remember the time that we did our own migration, we had users. This is where you can enter and manage your users. You can see my user I created. It's here. You can see the user I created. So, but we cannot find our own blog model here. For us to do that, let's go to our Django Girls folder, then open my blog. Inside there, you will see an admin file. So click, hold it, and drag it to your code editor. So you can see that it has this line for importing admin. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to import this model that we have already. So since this admin and this models file, you can see the admin here and the models file here are in the same folder, then we will say from dot models import blog, this guy. So if we do that, we'll now come down here and register our model. So we say admin.site.register blog. So we save it. We go back to our command prompt. You will see that it has reloaded again. It told us that there were changes with admin.py. It did some checks to see whether there is any error or not. If there is no error, it will now run. So we come back here and they reload this page. So if you reload this page, if the blog, the admin site registration, if the admin site registration you did is successful, you will see that a particular additional option appears here, this blog. You can see, formerly we used to have only users and groups. Now we have blog. So if you open this and come here, you can see add blog. If you click on add blog, what do we have here? You can see we have our title, which is the same as what you have what you have here. We also have author, we have text, we have published date. So the create date did not appear here because it is being added by Django automatically. So here, for our title, let's name it How to Create a Blog with Django. So next, we have author. And for this author, since I am the one who is creating the post, if you click on this arrow, you will see the list of users you have. So I've selected myself. Then for the texts, there happens to be a particular tool called Lorem Ipsum. What it does is it generates a text for you. Instead of us going through the stress of finding content to paste for our blog, we can just go to this loremipsum.com and copy some text. Although the text is rubbish, but we're just using it for placeholder sake. It's not like this is the blog post that we want our users to see. So we're using it for testing purpose. So you can see it even has the description here. So we generate our own message generated. We copy it. Then we come here and paste. You can see we have this generated text from Lorem Ipsum. From then on, we now set the date that we want it to be published. We click on this. Let's say we want it to be published on Monday, the 3rd of May. So we click on 3rd of May, you can see the time has been affected here. Let me zoom a bit. You can see the time has been affected here. Then next, what time do you want it? Let's select midnight, or rather 6 a.m. So by 6 a.m., we expect our blog post to become published. If you come down here, there is a save. You click on save, it will save it. So you can see this, what is appearing here. It says blog object 1. And if you open it, we have the title, we have the text and everything. But the little problem we have here is, what if we have another blog post? How do we differentiate between the two? For that, we go back to our model file here. Then at the end, we add some code. We add a meta class. Sorry. We add a string representation. So what this function we added does is the string representation. It's telling us, we are telling Django that anytime we create a blog where it's going to display the list of blog items we have, it should use the title. So in this place, instead of blog object 1, if we reload this, it's going to show us the title of the blog instead. Let's do that. You can see it has changed. So if you have another blog post, let's say maybe how to create a blog with Django part 2, it's going to show us vividly instead of having us confused with blog object 1. So I think we are going to put a hold here since it's a minute past 5, and this session is supposed to be done by 5 o'clock. So we are going to pause here. And for those of us who are not up to date, please, we should try and go to YouTube, Django Girls Abuja channel, and take the opportunity before Monday for our next session. Take the opportunity and go through the video. Anywhere you have a problem, please do not hesitate to contact us on the WhatsApp group so that we can help you get ahead of any problem that you have. So that I want a situation whereby by Monday, all of us are on the same page so that we can continue moving together. Let me call in Coach Inemesit to come and take the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for everything, sir.
Coach Inesemit. Sorry, Inemesit. I'm sorry. I keep getting your name wrong. Coach Inemesit, please, you have the floor. Hello. So I tried getting through to Coach Inemesit, and unfortunately I wasn't able to. Coach Mayoko is also not available. So with this, I'm going to round up today's session. Thank you very much for attending, and I'll see you on Monday, inshallah.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello, I think the class has finished.
Yes, sure.
Okay.